Estremo starto.
So you're going to play as the foxes, right?
It's randomized.
You're going to play as the foxes, right?
It's randomized.
You can have up to three types of people in your colony on any given run. Also,
I'm going to play the foxes, right?
Hi, chat.
Yo, little chat.
I mean,
I
there's
think-
human, and then there's like 5 beast races right now, and they're in the middle of developing bats.
So there's 5 good ones and 1. Why are you here?
Effectively. I think for your initial run, you're like stuck with the original 3 races they released, which was humans, beavers, and lizards. I think it's been a good while since I played this originally, so.
Tasked with establishing new settlements and acquiring valuable resources for the crown. Your goal is to help rebuild.
Crazy. It looks like a storm is brewing, yeah.
Secure the future of the Queen's subjects.
Oh god, Sunshine Rocket Raccoon's coming out tomorrow. I can't wait for that too.
Use WASD or the mouse to move the screen.
What's the...
Neglecting your village will increase the Queen's impatience and bring her wrath upon you.
Indeed.
Shaking your screen will make the Queen hate you more.
Fulfilling your duties will increase the town's reputation, unlock new buildings, and eventually bring you to victory. Now choose a new blueprint. Select the crown icon below.
Yes, so your goal in every run is to fill the blue bar, don't fill the red bar.
Okay.
Basically. The red bar
How
will
you
just
fill that
fill
blue
over
bar,
time, but-
there's a few different ways.
Press space to resume.
Cutting down trees.
You
Okay.
fill the blue bar by obtaining what is known as victory points.
They're
Victory points for cutting down trees.
hey, victory points were they
If
called?
you
No,
look
they're
at-
influence points.
You can gain victory points through military, sciences, and the arts.
No,
No.
not in this one.
Obtain money by trading with your neighboring.
Make
To be
money,
fair,
but
there is trading in this game, and there is
So
Not
those
a military.
icons above your bars there are the types of buildings you can build. The one that's lit up is the one you want immediately.
Resource acquisition. Okay.
Yep, that's where all of your carts are going to be. So when you usually start the game, you don't have...
Yeah. so
Every
that's
time you
what's-
start a run, you don't have a lot of recipes unlocked, but you start with these carts.
Yeah, you're...
This what does this range represent?
How far out the workers will go from that building.
Okay.
yeah.
So-
So it's
Effectively,
like,
you
I
want
can
it to,
collect
like-
wood in this radius. The
Yeah,
thing
you
with the
kind of want
carts...
to put it in a corner.
Yeah, the thing with the carts is they're carts. They can move around. So you don't have to be so committed to being like, oh, this is where it is and that's it. As they drain resources from an area, you can just move them to another pile of resources.
I am immediately liking this game more than AoE 2.
What's this UI aesthetic called where everything looks really ornate and sort of bronzy and
I don't know, but it's
Tiny.
a thing I noticed for like Last Epoch. Because again, that kind of design harkens back to Warcraft and
Yeah.
Diablo, like the original ones.
yeah.
Which a lot of people said this game gives them the Warcraft 3 feelings, which understandable.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've noticed that you have 3 types of people for your village. You've got humans, you've got beavers, and you've got lizards, like I thought. Each of them is better at different things. Your beavers are particularly good for, like, cutting and gathering wood.
That's a beaver.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's a
that is
beaver.
Okay.
It's got a
Group
big
of
old
beavers. 2 beavers will join
They're-
us.
I mean, the beavers are basically
Objective.
dwarves.
Yeah,
Woodcutter's
they're
camp. I need 2 of
That
them.
is
Wood and woodcutter's camp. Okay.
So, yeah. Build
They
The
them.
need
lizards are
bigger
your
teeth.
orcs. The foxes are your elves. Or no, our harpies elves.
From what
I guess
can-
harpies
from
are
what
your
I saw-
elves, and the foxes are more like your drow or your dark elves or something like that.
They're more like the night elves, from what I've observed right away before I joined the stream.
But yeah, particularly any UI that has like two prominent orbs near the bottom length of the screen that are ornately framed.
Right.
They're
call that
it's
Diablo
such a
2.
particular thing. Like, well, so see if you put in a human, they don't have that fancy little spinning frame. That means they're not getting bonus resources. The
Okay.
spinning frame means they get bonus resources if they have like a little blue glow around them. That means they're very happy in that job.
You have an order ready.
I only remember playing this as a demo one time,
Alrighty.
but now I can
Deliver.
never.
You did the thing.
Yeah, so you got stuff from that. So you got
So
beavers added to your population. You got woodcutting speed increased by 33%, and you've got one victory point. I forget what it's actually called.
influence or something.
Mm-hmm.
Is Rick
But
an
you can use that
influencer?
to now purchase a new building from your recipes.
Yeah, you get a new blueprint.
Rick likes
Choose new
blueprints.
building. Shelter.
housing.
Rick liked blueprints.
Mhm.
I think he hit that same spot that Q did. not the specific
Patiences
spot,
have been
but
drained.
Hmm.
not
Helter-
the specific spot in the game. Just
The
that
conceptual-
spot in the game.
Yeah.
A shelter for free people, eh?
Yes.
It can be built anywhere in this range around the hearth.
Shot.
That.
Bot.
Housing always has to be within range of a
What else?
hearth.
Okay.
Yep.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone. What
Stoker.
are we playing tonight?
We got some.
We
Against
are
the
playing
storm.
Against the storm.
Oh, is that the one that is gonna have the bat people but doesn't have the
Yes.
bat people? So I
Yes.
don't care because it doesn't have the bat people yet, and I'll suddenly
But they're
care when it
currently
gets the bat
working
people.
on
Not
it.
yet. They're working on it, and the concept art is very good.
They have the
concept art
fox
is
people,
very
so I
Stoker.
care.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the
They have
concept
the
art for that is
harpies,
very
so I
Stoker.
care, I guess.
I would laugh if they had the same concept as gargoyles and Warcraft 3.
Rick, I immediately love that your first instinct is to start placing buildings in like an aesthetic.
Well, this game sure feels like it consists of the parts of Warcraft that were most interesting to me. So
Uh huh. Oh yeah, like
Me, not that kind of work.
I always preferred
get
the base building part rather than the actual fighting part. So
Yeah, that's smooth.
It was definitely one of my favorite things about Warcraft 3 too as well, and upgrading units.
So, Rick, down above your bars, you've got two little hatchet icons. You can mark specific trees for cutting, and your woodcutters will focus on those first. Could be
otherwise
useful
they'll
for
just start
digging
from the
out.
center and go outwards
Yep.
from wherever the cart is. You're gonna want to
Silver Spotlight just said, well, like 2 minutes ago, Bite Club has arrived
Like,
Yeah.
when I came in. And you know what? I've been trying to think of a good name
Stoker.
for
First
what?
rule bike club.
Whatever, I can do it. I'm allowed. I've been trying to think of a good name for my own little streaming crew.
I mean,
That was not
that's a
bad.
good one. Honestly,
I might go with Bite Club.
What was the one I could have, like, Bat Frat? But that doesn't really
Bat
work.
Frat.
Yeah.
Well, I would have done Bat Pack, but you already have the Rack Pack, so that's out.
That's true.
And I have Game Cobra's Den.
But yeah,
And yeah. Bite Club.
do you
Yeah,
have
that's a good one,
thralls?
honestly.
Do you have thralls for your like minions for your club?
I
lots
mean,
of
yes, they're all here in the chat and in the
Oh.
call.
Oh, it's just us. Okay.
Of course
You know
it is.
what? Now Rick's playing this. Suddenly I had the urge to play Warcraft 3 again. Man.
I mean, you could just play this. It is currently half off.
It is.
You know what? Actually, you make a good point. I'm buying it right now.
It's solid. I quite enjoy it.
Which
If I like
which
Warcraft 3, I
half
like
is
this too.
discounted?
The bottom half.
The better half.
The better half says you, the bottom half says Miller, which is often the better half. So
Exactly.
How do I
it's
move
not
to-
half bad.
Hey.
Yeah, it's the bottom half off.
I'm not
Yeah.
allowed to park there.
Because those are
'Cause you can't-
resources.
There.
Yeah, those are vegetables. You need a vegetable cart to be able to pick them up.
You'll get it soon.
Ooh, 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 ooh. DC is
So-
against the storm.
One thing you could do with
Right.
the chopping selector is I believe you can hold shift to change the radius down to just one tree at a time. So you can make a very thin
There
path
you go.
if you want to cut through quickly.
You should have unlocked the foragers camp in your recipes,
Small foragers camp.
which allows you to gather vegetables.
Yeah, there's greens, roots, and vegetables.
Vegetables.
Vegetable.
VeggieTales.
Foragers.
So you can kind of see it'll mark where those items are.
Even if they're off screen, it will literally be like, hey, there's vegetables over here you can move your cart towards.
Yup.
Literally the best feature of it, especially when you've cut through a bunch of glades and you're like, I don't know what I can access right now. You just pick up one of your carts, and then all of the off-screen indicators say, oh, you can go here or here.
You kind of only got the one patch right now.
Yeah.
Being this is a preset tutorial level. Oh, see in that one glade you've got a box with an exclamation point over it. You can send people to go open the box.
So the way you do
Yeah,
it is
two
you assign
options.
people to the job, you select one of the two options, and when you pay the required things and you work on that event for the amount of time that it lists above the two options, then you will get the appropriate reward for whichever one you chose. So for this one, you get Amber, which is the main money of this game, and the victory points.
Nice.
Yep. Amber
Really,
is handy when traders show up.
But really, adding like roguelike mechanic to like Warcraft system is actually pretty awesome when you think about it.
Oh, that's not even the reason I use Amber the Bow Stash. It's for those juicy rerolls.
That's fair, honestly. So, if you kind of look off to the right of your screen, one of your glades has a skull icon on it. That's a dangerous glade. The rewards are greater, but the event in there might cause problems if you can't deal with it.
How do I change the size of this?
Shift, I believe. Shift or Control.
It's usually control.
Oh. Shift.
And that allows you to mark... That allows you
Yeah.
to mark single trees at a time.
Make sure you're going that way.
My thing is usually to have tunnels running through the trees that are too wide. That way you can have a line of peons going in to chop new trees and a line of peons coming out pulling logs out.
Okay.
That's the dream right there, having multiple lines of peons. I mean, who wants just one?
Pinky.
Why are y'all wanting to pee on multiple lines? That's just gross.
Stoker.
According to you.
Fine. I guess I'm kink
Would you prefer I call them pawns? You want me to pawn a bunch of people?
I mean, maybe a little.
There's an island.
This is a little spot, yeah, to start you off. The other places you'll be building in will be significantly larger.
They will be larger. They're still islands.
Newcomers. So you can select what kind of people you want to bring in and what resources they bring with them. I almost always go with whichever group is just larger in general, because...
Yeah.
Really? I try to balance the races usually, unless I have an order that asks for one population to be a certain size.
This guy looks like a platypus.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, there's a lot of
Plus-
other characters in the game that aren't the playable species.
Yes.
The queen herself is... I don't know
Unknown.
what the queen is.
She's
I
a
suppose
giant
she's
set
a
of glowing
phoenix.
eyes.
Yeah, that's all you really ever see of her.
I think if you click on your hearth there in the center, you can set a fire keeper. Yeah, which is by default one of your lizards.
So lizards, they like meat, they like warm things. So they are very happy to be working as a firekeeper.
Mhm.
And whoever you put into a firekeeper, whoever you put into your main hearth as the firekeeper gives a global bonus of some kind. For lizards, is they give +1 mood to everybody.
Yep, which is very important.
So down there, you can actually upgrade your hearth and make it stronger and give more global bonuses by adding more homes and more beauty objects. So
Which
the
I
hearth
don't
you
think
see
you
there,
can build right now.
maybe not.
Finger says the queen is hot. I know that much. Is she hot?
We don't know.
Let's see.
She seems to be able to
Raid.
protect an entire city with a force field of fire, so she must at least be fairly warm.
And she also, I've basically completed the game at this point. My cumulative time in this game, like in the game's timeline, is like 300-400 years.
Is there any
After the
issue with
war.
like pressing buildings up against each other?
Not really.
No.
doesn't look like it.
As long as people have paths to where they need to go, and you can keep those paths pretty
Yeah.
simple.
Like, you don't want to just cram everything together all the time. There does need to be like space between some buildings. Like there would be roads, but
Which you could build.
They're making some duplexes.
Mhm.
Queen is
don't
just-
forget to assign people to your gatherer cart.
Oh, that's right.
It's
Queen
personal.
is just a... Boxer, what are you talking about?
Humans love
Humans.
gathering.
Yes.
It's true.
It's true.
Especially when they're gathering magic.
Eh.
Humans, they
No.
love farming and alcohol and simple rural life things.
Joker, humans don't like Magic the Gathering. That's why they keep playing it. They hate it.
Is that why?
You know what? There is
No,
a
no, no,
certain
no.
amount of
They
truth
don't
to
hate
that.
Magic the Gathering, they hate themselves, and that's why they play Magic the Gathering.
So you see that one tree there that's marked white? That means that your
It's
gatherer
not
camp
in
is
range.
outside of the
Okay.
range.
Well, it's not that important yet, but
No.
Gas.
Oh,
Found a
Herbalist
thing, found an
camp.
herbalist camp.
you can rebuild it or you can salvage it. That one icon there that has the circle with the spinny thing around it, that means that you can change the resource.
large
you
and
use
giant
to,
gathering nodes, in addition to small ones, can collect herbs, berries, mushrooms. Okay.
Unlike your carts, it is not movable, however.
Oh, this is a cart.
No, that's a camp.
Oh, it's a camp.
That said, there's plenty of... Oop, you've hit your first storm.
What happens?
So there's
Uh,
seasons. There's 3
Global
seasons in the
happiness
game.
goes down is the big thing.
You can catch different fish.
There is storm, then... Oh, what's the second one? I know there's drizzle is the 3rd season. What's the 2nd season?
Dizzle.
Storm,
Monsoon.
calm... Storm, calm, and drizzle or something? Or is
I thought it
drizzle
was
the calm?
rain.
Oh, maybe it's storm, drizzle.
Clay Sumo.
Whatever.
Okay, so where are the resource nodes for this?
For which thing?
The Stonecutters camp.
Well, that's
You need
the
to select the
gatherers.
Stonecutters camp first.
Yeah, that was
That's
the
the blue
gatherers
one.
camp you picked up.
Okay.
It
Take some
gathers
clay
clay
there.
and rocks. And again, you just kind of got the one set right now.
So the arrow on the camp means that's the side that people will load and unload supplies to. What they'll
Okay.
do is they'll go to the little nodes and they'll collect one piece of material and they put it in the camp. And then they'll go back to the node, collect one piece of material, put it in the camp. And they'll do that until the camp's inventory is full, which, as you can see there where it says produced goods, is around 10. Then they'll carry those 5 at a time back to your main storage area, or whatever closest storage area you have.
Okay, I
Which
can
for right
see.
now is that red building right by your fire.
I can see why you like this. It's programming.
No, because you're not really commanding them what to do. You are trying to, have a sense of industrial, civil engineering with it, where you're trying to build good road networks and stuff.
Hmm.
You're trying to, keep your industrial buildings pretty close to your supply quarters. That way you have, less walking time.
That's fair.
Booger to Japan.
You know what I'm saying?
No, don't I, though?
I don't think you did.
Oh. Didn't
I could be
go back and do
mistaken,
it again?
That might be for the best.
Japan to Japan.
Perfect. Thank
Do we
you.
have another order right now?
Probably.
Yes, it is collecting clay.
Ah, okay.
So, okay, that's ready. So I need 2.
Yeah, you can assign people to it even when it's under construction, and then the people who are assigned to work there will go
Okay.
and build the building and then immediately start working once it's done.
Yelp.
Look at them scary.
Curry like Tim Curry.
Yes.
Oh
You
man,
got
I
a
just
blessing
realized.
from the queen.
I just realized I forgot to do a gag that I intended to do. Like several streams ago.
What's that?
We were talking about Rocky Horror, and you were saying that I would be Frankenfurter, and as we were ending the stream, I said, I see you shiver with Antissa, and I was totally gonna begin the next stream with Patience, but I forgot.
And nobody would have known what you were talking about.
that would've
Exactly,
been
that's
Production
what
is
makes it
50%
fun.
quicker in building crude workstation, which I do not have. Sure, why
See,
not?
Stoker, that would have been especially good if you had done that on a Thursday stream.
Oh, why's that?
That you
Doesn't have
would
to wait till
follow it
Monday.
up until Monday.
Oh, that's... Yeah, I definitely...
Here's the
would've
problem:
forgotten
is
on
Soker
Monday.
would then have to remember on Monday what he did on Thursday, and I'm pretty sure he couldn't remember what he did 6 hours ago.
I mean, clearly he didn't.
Excuse you. 6 hours ago, I was
Naked.
I am maybe
Probably.
6 hours ago would have been 4:20. Haha, blaze it. And fuck, I think I was naked 6 hours ago. But
Well, I think we've solved the mystery, gang.
That's not a mystery. I just assume that's his natural state of being.
it's everyone's natural state of
Right.
being.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Plant fiber, reed leather.
Reed Campus Avenue. In this game,
Yes.
This time of year.
In this economy.
Localized entirely to my bedroom.
Oh.
Why, yes.
so
May
what you
I
see
see
there
it?
is there are small versions
Ever.
of the plant fiber nodes, and then there are big versions. The big ones, of course, have a lot more resources in them, but they also have more extra resources. So if you put the Gatherer's Camp down and then click on the plant fiber node, you can see here it has a pretty good chance of giving you some insects or clay along with the plant fiber,
Interesting.
whereas the smaller nodes have closer to like a 10% chance.
Yes. It's always important to make note of big nodes.
The difficulty is that you are currently being given all of the large camps. There are small camps, or small carts, that can only pick up,
Root node.
Small nodes.
Small.
and you will
Yep.
not have access to all of the large camps.
This is just a tutorial level anyway. You are fairly close to winning, and once you get into the actual game, you'll
Come on.
get the...
Why aren't you making any progress there?
Well, how many people are employed at that wood
It's full.
cutters?
It's full.
It is full. Okay.
I think you could replace your human with a beaver. I think you've got enough.
Hello, Stolfo.
Hello, kitten.
Meow meow.
Stolfo says, I do love a nutrient-producing node.
Yes, I'm sure you do, kitten.
I was
Calories.
I was about to say, back where I come from, we call those titties.
Yes. That's the joke.
Chat, Bob Stoker. Now you can turn your order in. So you can click on just the blue arrow there instead of having to go into the order menu if you want.
Food workstation.
Ah, it is time for the processing of resources.
Melter, I heard the...
Also, you wouldn't believe it, but that little animation of the scaffolding going up, they literally added like 2 weeks ago.
Still don't believe it.
It used to be just the scaffolding appeared and that was it.
Yep.
Just like real life.
That's exactly
How long
it
ago
worked.
did they start development on this game?
It's been out
Oh,
for a few years.
God, yeah, it came out like December 23.
Yesterday.
That too.
Yesterday, I finally fell in love with you. Yesterday.
So
That's
they're
my
gonna turn
Beatles.
wood into
That's my
planks.
Beatles song. Do you like?
They're currently
It's
turning
beautiful.
plant fiber into cloth, but you could actually change that recipe if you wanted to. So there are other
thing-
things that you could allow or disallow. For each one that is lit up, that is a possible ingredient. You could select all three, and then they'll just try to grab whatever they can. Or you could be like, no, I only want to use plant fibers for cloth.
Okay.
Yep. It's good if you're like running low on a resource and you're like, I don't want to use this for this, but I still want this resource.
If you're trying to make cloth and wine can be made from reeds, but can't be made from plant fibers. So you could say, oh, I want to turn my plant fibers into cloth and my reeds into wine.
Yeah. You got some newcomers waiting on you.
Sugar wine.
Have y'all ever seen mycelium fabric? It's
Not
cloth
sure.
made out of it's cloth
Yeah,
made out
we-
of mushrooms.
We made that in Satisfactory.
Yeah, that's true. We did. No, but like, people are actually making dresses and shirts and stuff out of it now, and it looks incredibly flimsy.
They have more stuff, I guess.
It looks like it's made out of like pressed Pringles.
Justice,
made
is
out
it
of
Miller Day
pressed
tomorrow?
Pringles.
Yes, my birthday is tomorrow. That asked Rick to pick between two colony builders that I wanted him to play. I was like Frostpunk or Against the Storm. And lo and behold, Rick chose the one that had animal people in it. Who'd have thunk?
He picked the one that was 50% off.
That too.
Technically, I have Frostpunk, so.
As you do.
So that one would have been free. He wanted to pay a premium
But
so that he can see
animal
little
people.
animal people running around.
And now the birthday bird is in the penalty box. Way to go, chat.
It's
As
the
he should be.
birthday box.
You're a
Yeah.
Pick
birthday
the less
box.
depressing one. I mean, less depressing, not zero depressing. This is still a game where you're like in the middle of this storm thing that keeps raging forever and is constantly destroying the world over and over again.
It's
That is
true.
their gimmick for the roguelite thing, is that even when you build these colonies and then you like move on and they're, you know, supposedly self-sustaining, eventually the storm just comes in and destroys everything again. Only the city, protected by the queen, keeps surviving. That's it. That's the only place on the whole planet. It's not zero depressing.
You know, I feel like it's kind of weird to build flat roofs with all the rain.
Just slightly.
Fine.
Maybe someday they want to build on top of it.
Planks, bricks, fabric.
Mm-hmm.
You have almost
So
completed
thing.
the tutorial.
So you see there's if you click on the crude workstation, there are then 3 tabs in the top of its panel. One of them is the inventory. You can see there they've already made some bricks and cloth. They're just waiting for the inventory to fill up before they take it back to the storage building. And you can see the ingredients that they have sort of waiting away that they can then craft from.
So, from my understanding, this game is mostly about gathering as much as you can and building as much as you can.
Largely.
Sometimes. There's definitely parts where, like... There's definitely
Yeah.
parts of this game that I like because of the systems they have and how, like, situations can become very punishing, that you feel like you're like, alright, I'm just fucking going for it. I'm letting all these people get mad. I'm gonna let a bunch of people die just because maybe it'll push us over that finish line.
Ah, yes, where the chief of the village basically says, "Look, if we're going to make it, if I'm going to get that perfect achievement in life, you're all going to die."
Decorations here. Bench, barrels, fence corner. Park, quote unquote.
Yeah, you can set down decorations.
Oh, yeah.
to
Right.
make your town prettier and improve your hearth.
Mm-hmm. The hearth will tell you what kind of decorations it wants in order to level up.
Yar. So for the first one, I think it requires the green one.
Oh, really? Small encampment. Welcome new people. Send to capital for money.
Money?
Money?
Yeah, you can either sell them into enslavement in the capital, or you can welcome them into your town. You either have to give them some vegetable or some plant food to welcome them into the town, or some kind of meat food to send them to the capital. Good night, Ray.
All right.
Good night, Ray.
Selfa says this game is great in that it lets you just do the fun part of city building in a city building game over and over.
Yep.
I mean, I do have that kind of aesthetic. I just hate to see it all ruined. That's one thing I don't like about this game.
I mean, you don't see it ruined. And again, it's a roguelite. There are things you accumulate permanently.
Yup.
But they're still going to flood my city. The one I worked so hard for.
Yeah, you'll make another one.
So these
I
are
don't want to...
specific houses tailored to
Then
your,
you've picked the
your
wrong
people.
game.
No, I'm just joking. I like to see it build better out of the set game.
Where your generic abodes are fine. These provide much higher happiness bonuses to specific
Okay.
specific people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I
less-
guess we need to dig into the dangerous glen now.
Yes. That was going to be a thing eventually.
Well, it's nice knowing you.
It's fine. When I say
Ooh.
when they say
You
dangerous,
might
it
want to
doesn't mean,
wait
like, it
until
can-
after the storm to dig into the dangerous glen. Because that might be a problem on top of a problem.
Potentially. You can also speed up time if you look underneath the icon in the top center.
So is it possible to, like, it seems like every time when this happens, when the storm hits, it seems some of your population is going to die no matter what. Is it possible to
No,
have
they're
the
not
mouse
dying.
button?
They're just not happy.
I thought
Those
that
numbers
was
on the left are not your population. That is, the green numbers are how happy they are.
Oh,
As long as it's
okay.
positive, it's fine.
Well, this one's kind of low. It says
It's
lizards
fine.
are content.
As long as it's above 0.
Yeah. Lizards in particular are affected by the storm, but
I
Have
think
you
it's
ever
because
seen a lizard
you have
being
one of them
like super
unhoused.
happy? Like
that too.
content is as happy as they get.
I don't know. I've seen some geckos. They got pretty wide smiles on them.
Geckos aren't real.
Yeah, they are. One was at John Mulaney's house just last week. Whatever other things Gex would say that I have absolutely no context for who the fuck he's talking about.
That's valid.
Okay,
Yeah.
John Mulaney is a bit of a more recent reference by Gex
See, exactly.
standards.
I don't know. I don't know 70s and 80s stars.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the Stone Age, right?
You've got
Miller
something
is
in the
such,
upper
baby.
right there.
Have you ever noticed how much
One of
John
your
Mulaney
icons
looks
is
like?
glowing.
He looks like Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith. You know, he's got the suit, he's got the same kind of look. Not the same kind of voice, but the same kind of look. You know, I think he'd be a pretty good Agent Smith, honestly.
Food per minute or
Eggs.
resources per minute.
Give me food.
Hey.
I think that's why the lizards are unhappy, is because, like, I'm out of meat.
Yeah,
So,
that's
let them
that's
eat
definitely
eggs.
That's definitely contributing.
Mhm.
So yeah, 3 seasons are storm, drizzle, and clearance. That was it.
Ah, okay. Drizzle's the
Each
middle
of
one.
each of them has a different type of water, which will become important later.
Yeah, I was gonna comment on the flat roof thing. I'm just like, But if you want to collect the water, then a flat roof is great.
Yes.
There are
I
there
guess.
are actually buildings for collecting water. In fact,
If you want to, like, put an enormous amount of weight on top of the house.
Maybe they do.
You don't know them.
Well, if they want to get, one of them want a pool on the ceiling.
Oh, you got more people coming in.
Hi, Toby.
Obi.
Hello, Toby.
Look at that guy. Look at that little guy.
Here, we need to get Jonas over to his
He's the
son.
little guy.
Yeah, I gotta get there in time for Christmas.
Toby, no!
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's me.
That tracks.
Hostility of the forest. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. The longer you take, the more hostile things will become, which will make it harder.
I see.
As you open glades, as you get more woodcutters, as you take longer years.
Basically, every 3 cycles of seasons is a year.
Got an ancient shrine. So this one has a threat. So if you don't deal with it in a certain amount of time, something bad is going to happen.
No materials. Missing one or more materials required for the event.
So you're going to have to select different materials for those. You do have enough, at least.
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't be too bad. It looks like it's going to take, what was that, 3.5 minutes? And it's like, probably something like 12 minutes until it'll punish you.
No gathering nodes near Stonecutter's camp.
So,
Yep. There's one tiny clay node over there.
Sure.
Fail access. Oh gosh, look at the
It's-
cute animal people at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, a lot of people are dying. Why are people dying?
Uh-oh. Why are people
oh,
dying?
because of the threat triggered, it had like a very short cooldown for its initial.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Oh, because it's a tutorial thing, and it's just like, hey, bad shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like, this is what happens if you don't deal with the threat. But it's fine because, you know, it only does it once, and you've got more than enough people to cover for it.
Alright, there they go.
There it
And
goes.
take up their positions and start praying for it now they've got all the supplies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should maybe full screen this instead of watching this in my tiny Discord window on my
Yeah,
second
Miller.
monitor.
What the hell?
That's why I didn't know how long it is, because like I could not read that.
That's fair. But
The
yeah,
text
no.
is a bit tiny and the font's not the best. I vastly prefer sans serif fonts if they have to be tiny.
That's fair.
You win.
Level.
And when
Congratulations.
I get 10 bread.
A lot of bread.
Purchase
the
upgrades
head.
in the smoldering city.
Like permanent bread?
Yeah, that's your permanent upgrade materials.
Permanent
One of them.
bread is such an interesting combination of words.
Is that not what hardtech is?
Ugh,
You know what?
Pretty close.
Fair.
bad flashbacks. Don't like it.
Pretty dang close.
Villagers with low resolve will start leaving, increasing the queen's impatience. Keeping resolve exceptionally high will grant passive reputation over time.
Yeah.
You okay, Ray?
This is still 50% off.
Yes.
Yes.
That hasn't
Until,
changed in the last
21st.
That hasn't changed in the last 40 minutes.
It's the I think it's because Steam's doing their like city
They're
builder
doing
and
it.
colony sim event.
Yes.
Oh,
that is
yeah.
specifically it.
That's right.
Planted in the first season, drivel. Harvested during the second season, clearance.
And then they don't do anything during the storm.
There's-
They can during the storm they will put fertilizer in the ground.
There's one Steam Fest in November called Steam Animal Fest, and I'm wondering if that's just what they call the Furry Games Fest now.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
How?
Never do any research into it at all.
Alright.
It's true.
Boy.
So you
It's
can
the best
either
way to learn about a
manually
thing.
set up all those like grasses there, you could put farm plots on them, or if somebody is assigned to work at the farm, they will just start building the farm plots on nearby grass things.
Can you increase the density of the farm plots? Because then you can be like, oh, the plot thickens.
No.
Uh
Oh, shit.
huh.
Da 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 da.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's this Keepers of the Stone?
What is that? That's a DLC, right?
Yeah, that's
I
one of
think.
the.
Because one of these looks like a supporter pack that's just like, okay, these are cute things I'll never use.
Keepers of the Stone is the frog people.
Okay.
Oh, they did do the frogs. Okay. I haven't actually gotten Keepers of the Stone.
It adds the frogs, new biomes, new building options, new cornerstones,
And a brand new Winnebago.
and expeditions. But yeah, the supporter pack is just like the soundtrack and some art files. Just neat.
Also, again, this is a thing that changed recently, and I can't believe this wasn't like this on release and like forever. You see how weirdly shaped these houses are with their like L thing?
Mm-hmm.
For like a year and a half, they were just a 2x2 thing, but the model was still
Yes.
shaped like that.
Huh.
Yeah. Now they're actually L-shaped, and you can place
Now
things
they actually have
between
a
them.
cutout in them. And you can put in like a single piece of furniture or park plants
Or
and
something.
stuff.
Yeah.
It makes everything more interesting that things are actually irregularly shaped.
Whoa.
Miller
It's
has
just
the
a
opinions,
thing.
capital O.
So you can put like a flower bed in that
games
corner.
that aren't just rectangles.
Well, you know, hexagons are the best cons.
They are. They were talking about packing things in, I think, Greg's server, and it took a lot of my willpower to just be like, oh yeah, bet you can't guess what this packing algorithm for hexagon is. Laughs in perfect coverage.
Penny laughs in imperfect coverage.
Yeah, yeah.
Blackwald says right now it's cheaper to buy it with the supporter pack than without.
That
Really?
happens sometimes.
I don't think that's quite correct. Like, with the math.
I don't try to do Steam math. Steam math can be very fucky sometimes. Just ask the Brazilians.
Mark!
Mark, get in here.
Marco!
Polo.
Mark, tell us how, like, God of War Ragnarok is $23.
Or 700.
Or 700. I mean, yeah.
Whichever any given game happens to be in Real. Oh yeah, Kitten, I'm sure everything in this game just smells constantly damp.
Oh, it's all
Soggy.
petrichor, right? Is the name of fresh rain? Or the name of the smell of fresh rain? Yeah.
Apparently that smell mostly comes from, like microbe waste products in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
I remember it being something. It's like, oh, it's aerosolized, like yeasts and stuff that have gotten thrown up by the drops hitting the ground.
Trapper's Camp.
Thinkers did Yoshi that -F instead of F Yoshi.
Oh,
Just
can we
came up
add
as normal?
can we add arguments to the to the morph command?
Yeah, I need a what is it? ping-cm-l google.com.
What does that one do?
I think that tells you the full path of your ping test.
Yeah.
There might be a -H in there somewhere. I don't remember. I haven't done command line arguments in fucking years.
Yeah. You kids with your GUIs.
You can't walk that way. I guess they can walk that way, but can't build a road right there.
Yeah, the villagers
many
can walk
trees.
through resource nodes and trees if they really, really, really have to, and there's no other way to reach there.
I never assigned anybody here.
Always remember to assign your people. Work makes them happy. Ha 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 ha.
I'm useful.
There are certain jobs that make them happy, like the beavers. They yearn for the mines.
Well,
It's
they-
Beavers.
You think
Everybody.
they'd be more toward like lumberjacking?
Well,
they
this
are.
is why I'm saying the beavers are the dwarves of this setting. They like wood and they like digging.
Yeah, you can
So
actually.
you're telling me the beavers like wood and jacking?
Yep.
Alright. How many beavers would you say you have there?
About 8.
7, maybe more.
You notice them walking along paths after I built them.
That happens. Paths also
Yeah.
increase their speed.
I figured that would happen.
Regular dirt paths, which cost nothing, increase speed by 5%. Stone paths increase speed by 15%. Copper paths increase speed by 25%.
Copper
Yeah.
pads.
Yep, you can make paths out of copper.
It makes people move faster because their paws are too hot. Because you have metal just sitting in the sun.
I mean, I can see like a wooden path with copper nails, maybe.
Yeah, the copper path looks kind of like visually it looks like a marble path with like copper inlays, or like it's a mosaic kind of thing.
Yeah, it's actually quite pretty.
But it's extremely like, look at me, I have infinite wealth because I have so much copper, I'm just putting it on the ground.
That is very much it. Like, you have much better uses for your copper most of the time.
Sounds like some Ian Asir kind of stuff. Sorry, too soon.
How dare
Look,
you.
if he wants to sell me low-grade copper for my pathing, that's probably the best use for it.
Silver Spotlight says, "Behold my riches, for I paved the streets with them." Or alternatively, it's just one bit of road that's extremely important to make go fast. That is true. When I usually start upgrading my roads, I start from like the supply building and kind of radiate out from there, because that's the part where people are going to be walking across the most number of times.
Indeed.
That is the big one.
Actually, you can move that. Can we get rid of these trees?
No, Miller. What you gonna do for your birthday?
Nothing.
No, alright, fine. So, let's see how it is.
I got nothing planned, I should say.
What have you got unplanned?
Well, I did actually
Smokehouse.
unplan something. I was gonna try this new Mexican steakhouse that opened up near me, but I was talking to my hair salonist about it, and he apparently said that place sucks.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate.
That is
Hey.
unfortunate.
Miller, you've got like axe throwing places down there in Texas, don't you? Like that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
What if you combined axe throwing bars with karaoke bars?
Why?
What if that thing, Jonas?
Wouldn't that be festive?
I mean, yeah, so the winner is voted by process of elimination.
Telling you, man. Could be big. I have good ideas. I'm an entrepreneur. Fund it.
All I want is to see you turn into a giant woman. No. All I want is
I need more
To
lizards.
be someone?
some kind of
Meanwhile,
karaoke
it's
bar. Maybe not a karaoke
Fine,
bar.
I
Just
guess
some kind
I
of
will
bar that's
assign-
themed to be like Quark's bar.
Humans.
You know,
Come
when they had the
on.
Star Trek experience in Vegas years ago, they reproduced a chunk of the promenade and they had Quark's Bar.
I want to play some Dumb Jot and some,
Fine, let's
what's
move
the
over
roulette
here.
that they play?
Oh, Dabo?
The Dabo tables, yeah.
They
The
did not.
double D double ba?
If I remember correctly, they did not have the Dabo tables because I think like they never actually sat down and figured out what the rules of Dabo are.
Oh,
Of course I did.
hang
Oh,
on
God,
a
no.
second.
Fans
Hang
have,
on a second, y'all.
Mhm.
What was that? What?
as of 7 minutes ago, there's a new Deltarune newsletter.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, we have the release date. It's
Yeah,
like-
but if there's a new newsletter, then there's new news. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at it and let you know if there's anything important to update everyone on.
very well.
Update. No more Deltarune ever.
Yeah.
The white mage has been slain.
Update. Deltarune is now the Pope's game. He has officially claimed Legion over it.
Steam version June 4th, 8 a.m. Pacific.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, let me update that then.
So it's right after Ferality. Or no, that's me during Ferality. isn't it?
June 4th at 8 a.m. Okay. That's a bit early for a Steam release. Not that I'm complaining.
If you buy the PS4 version or the PS5 version, you get both, and the same for the Switch and Switch 2 versions.
Makes
That
an
could be
amount of sense that is alarmingly absent most of the time.
Could be a busy weekend for us.
It's preview.
Fox just says quality and food is subjective. Miller? No, buying buying like a quesadilla for $35 is not subjective. There's just no way you can make that worth it.
Oh yeah, what if it's a case of quesadillas?
Hey!
Then that's not a quesadilla, is it? That sounds like a Taco Bell thing.
That's a big one.
That does
You
sound
Taco
like
Bell?
something they would offer.
Some kind of machine in the middle. Weird.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a steampunk game. Well, rain punk.
Rainbug.
Brain punk.
Does that mean there's an ice punk genre?
I mean, that's frostpunk.
That's frostpunk. That other game Miller suggested.
And then there's solar punk.
There was a time when the four punk nations
biopunk.
lived in harmony.
And then Splatterpunk attacked!
Isn't that game with the squids?
Yes, Jonas.
You know,
it's the
Untitled
game with
Squid
squids.
Game.
+1 to Bricks
Yes,
production.
Jonas.
Splatoon.
Yes, we will take this for ourselves.
Rick, like, this is mine now. Fuck the queen.
We can get our own fucking bricks.
Yeah.
Be nice if I could just place it right there.
You'd think it's nice to have it in one place so that it covers all the resources, but that just means it's running quite a bit of distance between each of those different sets of nodes. It's actually sometimes better to have it like more selectively pick off one set of nodes, and then you move it slightly over to pick off another set of nodes, and you move it
I
slightly
see.
over.
Change the ingredient from insects to meat. Oh. I guess that would make sense. But I need more meat then.
Meat.
Meat.
Meat, meat,
Meat.
meat,
Meat.
meat,
Meat.
meat.
Mate,
Meat.
mate.
Meat. This is like our MST3K thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you fool.
Your MST3K thing.
Look, if you don't want to participate, that's fine. More meat for me.
Look at this.
Meat.
I wasn't there.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there. That was before your time. God.
Overcooked was before my time.
I think that
I'm
might have
such
actually.
a little baby.
Yeah.
You are.
I think that might have actually been before there were like YouTube videos of the stream.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Let me see if Overcooked's on the channel.
That's new.
Right, you say that, and the first place my mind
Oh,
goes is
and
pet the
herbs.
snoot. Don't pet the snoot.
Oh.
Are you my dad?
Look at that bustling little city.
Yeah, we did Overcooked 2 in June 2020. Then you joined in October.
So Rick, one thing you can do there to make sure they're making more jerky is if you go back to the smokehouse, you see there's numbers and arrows to the left of each recipe. You can change their priority. So higher numbers, no, on the left side. So higher numbers means that they'll prioritize that one first. So now they will prioritize the jerky recipe before they start to make pottery or incense.
Yeah.
The other number that you tried to change is the recipe limit. So they will make up to that much of the thing and then stop.
Ah, I see.
And that can be set on a per building, like per recipe basis, or it can be set on a colony basis. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to use all of my stone to make bricks, I need it for other things, you could be like, I only want to make up to like 50 bricks, and then I want you to stop. Roscoe says nice, peaceful, calming music. The music in this game is very good.
It
What
is
show?
quite nice.
It is calming now.
And then the screaming starts.
Well, when you're doing a fragment mission, yeah, kind of.
Cool.
Those are the missions where you are directly confronting the corrupting forces of this world. And those get pretty harrowing.
They angy.
Those are the ones where sometimes the only way you can get through a mission is by literally building a Cthulhu-esque temple
Brewery.
and
I could do.
sacrificing your people for rituals just so you can get through the seasons.
So basically, we're like veering into Cult of the Lamb territory.
Yeah, you can do that.
Produced enough jerky.
More meat.
We need more meat. Faster.
The storm be upon ye.
The storm.
Why don't you just build a big umbrella?
Pretty lively.
Why'd that change
Now
back
they're
to
all
insects?
making-
Do not use insects. A lot more meat up this way.
This music is making me drowsy.
It's a. It's a very
Seems a little far away.
well designed game, just like straight up.
Let's build some roads there.
I like that the road builder. You don't have to just draw in orthogonal lines. It can like make kinks or angles in it.
Oh, nice.
Quick, finish the order before they get rid of the jerk in the smokehouse and everybody eats it. I think that's what's been keeps happening.
Probably, yeah. You'll probably want to complete your order as soon as it's ready.
I would imagine this does not have a multiplayer mode.
It does not.
Need to make brewery. Ingredient from pottery to barrels in the brewery able. Choose 20. Okay.
Time for beer.
Tavern.
Tavern.
We need to find a game that's
Tavern
like...
is a place where they can drink the beer.
But first, I need to make the beer.
We need to find a game that's like Stardew, but not actually Stardew.
Factorio.
Well, I meant like a farming...
That's not like Stardew.
Sorry, I think it says Satisfactory. I don't know why.
Miller rejected your reality and substituted his own.
Rude. I reject your reality and substitute fries.
Stardew. There was that one
yes.
that was like, you farm your like Pokemon companions. It's like Cublets or something.
Cublets, huh? Oh,
Cublet.
tasty. Cublets.
Cublets.
Cublet?
Is that the stage direction for the title character of Hell of a Boss, Cublets?
Oh, I see what you did there.
Aha! Aha! It's funny because Satan.
Oh, speaking of Hell of a Boss, did you see it got picked up by Amazon?
Amazon Prime. Oh yeah, everybody and their brother, I think, has heard about that
Oh yeah.
at this
Probably.
point.
That does
I
mean
have-
that there can finally be crossover between the two series.
Yeah, which is gonna be interesting because it's kind of interesting how, you know, technically they share the same universe, and there is obviously some aesthetic sensibilities that they share in common, but
Obviously.
in many ways they kind of felt like completely different shows despite
They
that.
are.
Well, yes, but you know what I mean. Like,
Thematically,
They
it's
are.
gonna be interesting because it's like Hell of a Boss is, you know, it's taking place in hell. It's even primarily taking place within the Pride Ring itself, but you know, nobody talks about exterminations. And like the one.
Also, it's like the entirety of hell. Like this is like, I don't know. Let them just be in two different areas, kind of thing.
Well, if they're smart, they're not gonna overdo the crossover stuff. If they're smart, it's just gonna be like little tiny Easter eggs and references and like one
Right.
big crossover episode where they're both involved. But they're not going to constantly be like, you know, like Stolas walks into the Has-Been Hotel and fucking Charlie is like, oh my gosh, it's Stolas Hell of a Boss, and like the sitcom audience claps and laughs.
What are you doing on Deep Space Nine?
Basically.
If they're
I don't know.
smart, they're not gonna make it like that.
I hope that.
The one thing that I'm most interested in seeing is actually seeing all 7 of the sins together in the same place canonically, because it was actually an interesting bit of forced lore / character building that they couldn't have Lucifer appear in Mastermind, so they had that empty chair, because like the reason legally why he can't be there is because of the rights thing, which hadn't been worked out yet. But because of that, it adds to the world building by making him more of an absentee ruler. And, I don't know. That's fun to me. The main concern that I had and have is, well, 2 main concerns. One, is the possibility that the remaining seasons of Hell of a Boss will end up being as condensed and rushed as the first season of Has-Been Hotel was. Because that was the biggest problem with Has-Been Hotel, is that it was trying to cram in like 16 episodes worth of story into 8 episodes.
Yeah, it could have stood to be a little more.
Yeah, and I understand why, because, you know, the way streaming stuff works, they didn't know that they were guaranteed to get a second season.
Exactly.
And there was
Like, I
so
get
much...
it, but
There was so much they wanted to fit in, like, you know how they say kill your darlings, but there were too many darlings that Vivsy and company had built up to the fan base in terms of, like, you know, concept art and, like, teasing people and getting them ravenously eager to see these characters, that they couldn't not have them show up, even if they didn't really have anything to do. Like, case in point, frickin' Vox, Mr. TV Face. He appears in exactly 2 episodes and has fuck all to do with the actual overall story arc. But at least in season 1, now in season 2, who knows? But
they
he
weren't
was
playing up to some, you know, big confrontation between him and Alistair.
Yes, but like
like one-sided for the most part, but
Yeah, but like you still can't really do that with the time, and when you have the time devoted to that, it's taking time away from the actual major plot. It's difficult, okay? I'm not saying this in the sense of being like, oh, they screwed up and I would have done it so much better. No, it's difficult because you have to meet the corporate expectations and the fandom expectations, and that's frankly kind of an impossible position to be in.
really,
It always is.
But the concern is, like I said, that this might happen to Hell of a Boss. If the last 2 seasons are only 8 episodes each, I mean, that's like, what? How many episodes was season 2 of Helluva and season 1? Like, they were both past 11 episodes, right?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
trying to
they're
remember.
both fairly sizable.
Yeah, so it would suck to have it would suck for the show not to be able to truly finish right in the home stretch, right when it's actually in an incredibly interesting place storyline wise.
Right.
12.
But okay, yeah, there you go. And the other concern, of course, is that even though the announcement trailer or the announcement for this whole thing was like, oh yeah, it's still full creative control, like, you can say that, but like, do you really have full creative control with Amazon?
Did they say that in the trailer?
Yeah, they said it. They said that Viv said that Vivian maintains full creative control according to the agreement. But
That's a weird thing to say in the trailer.
well, I mean, they probably thought that people would be concerned about this.
Yes.
But again, though, like, I mean, like, do you really have full creative control? I mean, it's a little iffy once you got Daddy Bezos looking over your shoulder. But
I mean, that is true, but on the other hand, you see the kind of shit that Invincible gets away with?
I mean, yeah, there is that. Also, it's I kind of hope that, like, the budget is another concern, because the very interesting thing is that despite the fact that Hell of a Boss seasons 1 and 2 were fully independently funded, and Has Been Hotel season 1 was funded by, you know, Amazon and A24, by the end of the second season of Hell of a Boss, the animation on Hell of a Boss way surpassed Has Been Hotels. And it was largely because, in my opinion, they didn't have to answer to any bean counters, and they could be as indulgent as they wanted to. Some of the scenes that they get away with in Hell of a Boss are so unnecessarily complicated and indulgent, and I mean that not from a storytelling perspective, but from a pure technical animation perspective. Like, they get away with pulling some borderline Glenn Keane stuff at some points. No, not Glenn Keane. What's the guy's fucking name? The horse. What's his name?
The horse?
James Baxter! That's it.
Uh-huh.
James Baxter.
Mid-call?
They get away with pulling some borderline James Baxter stuff at some points, and I can't help but feel that Amazon might be like, no.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me think of fucking the guy who ran Deke when they were doing animation, whose name is escaping me at the moment, and apparently, I was told apparently he would count how many times a character would blink in any given cartoon or piece of animation, because he's like, every blink costs us $1 or something like that.
Oh no.
That sounds about right.
God, that
honestly.
makes so much sense for the fucking Sonic show now.
To be
Right?
fair, though, a lot of shows I find lately have still got that Mortal Kombat and and Game of Thrones mentality stuck in. Like, we got to do something to raise the bar to have people like our show more. What can we get Hell of the Boss to do? I don't know. And they're gonna come up with something.
Yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. It's I'm kind of torn between, like, on the one hand, good for them, and on the other hand, being like, well, it's not really indie anymore, is it? But whatever.
No, it's not.
I've always had. I mean, I'll just be honest, without getting too deep into my opinions on this particular topic, though I have many, many opinions on this particular topic.
Stoker, you just have many opinions, period.
Look, I
He has
can't.
opinions.
I can't help that I'm just always right about everything forever. But
That's true.
Just like me.
but basically, I've always had kind of mixed feelings about both shows in the first place. There are things I really like about them, and things that I have some criticisms about. But
No, that's understandable.
and the thing
Oh,
is,
just-
you know, I kind of feel like that makes them more compelling to me than if they were all good or all bad. It's the stuff that's a mixed bag that really, like, my attention zeroes in on.
Luna, just kiss Vortex. God.
The Blightstorm is coming, your settlements have been abandoned, and people are returning to the Citadel.
She can't
Also,
she can't kiss
end of the
Tex, he's
cycle.
currently-
The Blightstorm rages.
Also, Luna can't kiss Vortex unless she kisses Beelzebub too, and it's fine, I ship all three of them.
That's valid, though. That's probably the most valid take.
Like, that needs to be endgame. If that doesn't become canon, I'm personally going to email Vivian a JPEG of an angry squirrel.
As you do.
That's right.
So those hexagonal things you see, those are extra modifiers. They will, if you build a settlement in the 6 spaces around them, they will give you some extra effect and usually give you some extra rewards as well.
There are also different biomes that you can kind of see as you
Yeah.
look around.
A caravan that will become the foundation of your town's populace. Oh, more lizards.
I just saw that in chat,
On the other hand.
Black Waltz 7 that said, "Sir, how can we get more people to watch Hell of a Boss?" and answered, "More Luna feet."
God.
I mean,
You know what?
That's not wrong.
I mean, it definitely gets more of a particular audience to watch. For me, it's just more Luna. The feet, not necessary. Just, well, I mean, not in the sense that I think they could just lop them off, but just more Luna in general. Which the next short, based on the tiny little preview they showed of it, seems to be fairly Luna-centric, so that's good.
Indeed.
Even if it does look like she's spending a lot of time in her human form in it, but hell, her human form's hot too. I wouldn't turn it down.
That's valid.
That's the thing about that's the thing about Luna as a waifu. You get 2 girlfriends in one.
All right, here we go.
Fertile
All right,
ground.
here's
Blades
your
have an
first
increased chance of
actual
including
run.
fertile soil. Marshlands are a gatherer's paradise. Gather speed increased by 10% for every 2 workers assigned to gathering camps.
Oh, Tala, did you not
The
know that
gathering is
Luna
a very important thing here.
Did you not know that Luna has a human form, Tala? I don't know if you watch the show. For those of you who don't watch the show, she can take on a human disguise. I don't know if it's... Well, it's kind of implied to be actual full-on shape-shifting, yeah, because there was that one bit in that one episode where she used it to avoid being shot by the characters they were fighting in that episode because her human form is a smaller target. So, if it were
She
just
has
an
a human
illusion, that
form.
wouldn't. Huh?
She has a human form, fucking.
And she also has like a freaking like wolf ass like
yes, for
quadruped
actual
form, too.
hellhound form.
I'm pretty sure the human form is basically a form of magic. I just don't know if it's high class or low class.
I mean, it's Luna's. It's probably local. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Get over here.
I mean, hellhounds and imps are considered to be the lowest rank of hell society, so
This is true.
But I would see Blitzos.
Do these count as
spending
wood?
so much on her, though.
yes,
Yes.
those are wood.
Okay.
So you can, if you exit the woodcutting building thing, you can actually hover over one of the trees. It'll, there you
Mush
go.
wood.
It'll show you what the trees can give you. So in the last area, you were cutting down like oaks and pines. Those were giving you resin. These ones are giant mushrooms, so they have a chance of giving you mushrooms.
Yarp.
Mushroom.
Batcha, 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 batcha.
So
batcha,
every
batcha,
single
batcha.
species wants three main things. They want nice housing, they want good food, and they want places to relax. So for lizards, the only thing they like to relax to do is brawling. That's it. That's the only service they like.
They
like
don't
a
even like
lot-
sunning themselves on rocks.
Nope.
There is no sun. in
There's
this
no
setting.
sun.
Oh, no.
I guess you could like make an artificial heat lamp room.
Yeah, it's called the cookhouse. They like all these different meat things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They like
Woodcutters.
jerky and skewers and meat pies. And then for any plant goods, you can pickle them, and they like those.
Man, I can't believe Badger Mushroom is 75 years old now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
First time they ever did it was on the Telegraph.
Can't believe
Badger,
Weevil
stop.
became
Badger, stop.
the leader of the
Badger,
UN,
Stop. Badger,
and then-
stop. Badger, stop.
send it to godhood.
I'm just gonna mark all the things that let me get to.
Get to the small glades.
Yes. And then there's several dangerous ones surrounding me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably have to do one, but I'm gonna need to build up
You're
first.
probably gonna do the one that's closest to your hearth. That's the thing that's not gonna be able to move, and that's gonna decide
Yeah.
where several things are. So,
Arts.
couple other things you can build right here at the start. You've got eggs right there, so you can build a meat collector for them. You've got that little green pool right there. That's actually a fishing pond, so you can build a small fishing hut for that. That's an algae pond. Excuse you.
There's no excuse for Stoker.
Anyway, in conclusion, Luna hot. Hey Rick, when are you drawing her?
I have drawn her like twice. Granted.
Yeah, but when are you drawing her 3 times specifically to cater to my fetishes?
Okay.
I love how
any specific ones?
May 25th.
I love how your reaction to that was just like completely in stride deadpan. Oh, okay.
Rick has done that countless times, as far as I know.
But which fetishes will it be this time, Stoker?
I mean, people know my primary like 1 or 2 interests.
Is it the one that sounds like a radio station?
That sounds like a radio station. Oh, ENF. I get what you Stoker really wants to see Luna filing taxes. Yeah, Blu-ray, but I need to see her doing it at like 11:59 on April 14th so that it's barely legal.
They have to pay taxes in hell.
Of course they do. It's
Jonas,
hell.
It's
what
hell.
kind of question is that? You're that's like asking like, do they? Is it warm down there?
I mean, isn't one part of hell like frozen icicle?
Okay, so if we're talking about Dante, then
We're
yes.
getting into it.
If we're talking about Dante, then yes, there's a frozen part of hell. If we're talking about the Helliverse, we have a character whose Goetia superpower is ice-based. So the places where he lives are all frozen over. But if we're talking about like the actual church doctrinal versions of hell, no, it's just fire.
Oh, alright.
Deliver 25 stormwater.
It's all fire. It's specifically the what was the thing I read that was like, oh, hell was actually just this trash pit outside of Athens that caught fire at one point.
You're
and then
talking
burned
about
for like 100 years.
Yeah, you're talking about Gehenna.
Well, that's not near Athens.
No, that's near
Gehenna's-
Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerusalem. Okay.
So, that's not entirely accurate. Gehenna was a real physical place, not a metaphysical place, but it wasn't a continuously burning trash heap. It did get used as a metaphor for the people who were unworthy of the kingdom of heaven, but it wasn't quite so literal as a literal like burning pile of fire. That's a later invention. Kind of like how some people try to be like, well, when Jesus says it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get to heaven, really, the eye of a needle was the name of this really narrow gateway in Jerusalem that it was difficult to squeeze camels. So, no, that is also something that was made up by people later, like sometime around the 17th or 18th century. There's no evidence that there was a fuck-mothering gate called the Eye of the Needle. I watch a lot of like religious scholar channels on YouTube.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be. I'm not saying that I'm watching. I'm not saying that I'm watching proselytizing channels. I'm watching actual religious scholarship.
I don't care. It's your spare time. Do what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, I'm watching Wendigoon videos, which are neither proselytizing nor actual like theology. It's just him being like, "Man, Bible's fucked up."
So basically, you're a Wendigooner.
I watch stuff that's
Do we
like...
know how to butcher a bat? Is there an
Yes,
online resource
actually.
for this? Oh, how excellent!
Yeah,
I
you know that's
require
how
knowledge.
COVID started, right?
Butchering is fairly standard once you know how to do it with most animal. Once you know how to do it with one animal, it's fairly universal.
Stone cutters.
Mhm.
Do I
I
actually
I thought it
have
was
any
Ash. I thought that was
stone?
Rick that said that.
I do not have any stone in view.
You also have you have one house, but
yeah,
I need to build more. So
Yeah.
There's
you do.
actually a really interesting one that I watch a lot of. His name is Dan McClellan, and he is a
Oh no, McClellan, go ahead.
Oh, Dan McClellan. He's a scholar of the Bible and like a couple of different like ancient languages and stuff. He's got like
beautiful.
4 or 5 PhDs, most of them related to like linguistics and ancient languages and the Bible, and one of them for some reason is about massage therapy. But he does these very, very in-depth videos on different biblical topics, and a lot of them are just responses to things that both crazy religious people say and crazy atheists say, where they're like, well, this is what this really means, and he's just like, no, it isn't.
I like how deadpan he is. So
Yeah, he's so good, where like they're like, the word amen is actually derived from the Egyptian god Amen, and then it cuts back to him, and he's like, no, it isn't. And then he'll go into the actual linguistic roots of amen. He just published a book that I'm very interested in called, The Bible Says So, I believe is the name, where he basically, it's just one of those books where he's like, this is what dogmatic people tell you the Bible says, and this is what it actually says on these topics. Where he brings up controversial topics, where, like the concept of the Trinity not actually existing in the New Testament, or the concept of hell being developed post-biblically, or the fact that the concept of monotheism is also a post-biblical invention. So, yeah. He's got a lot of insights, Mr. McClellan does. He's got this like podcast thing that he does with other scholars, and it's like his slogan. The slogan is data over dogma. I appreciate that.
That's good.
What about
I've been watching some similar videos to that today. I was watching the so sometimes in VR we've been watching Dr. Mike videos where he's just like, Doctor reacts to TikTok videos, or Doctor reacts to Scrubs or something.
A couple of people in the chat are asking what his name is. I'm just gonna link you to his YouTube channel.
He put out a video yesterday where he actually invited on 2 people, 2 female doctors, to talk about epidemiology of things like what were they talking about? They're talking about herbicides and GMOs and the like organic versus chemicals debate and stuff. It's so fucking funny watching these pseudoscientists bullshitters bullshit. And the other lady is like, give me one shred of evidence. I am begging you. You keep saying all these things. I am begging you one piece of evidence. And of course, why does the bullshitter even go on that show? Because she has a book to sell.
Always. I don't know why I did that little musical thing.
No.
It's funny, I actually saw YouTube recommended some other videos where it's like scientists debunk pseudoscience, and it was the same lady who was debunking the pseudoscientists. And one of the things she's talked about is she was like, Oh yeah, they immediately, if they have like a thing to sell to you, like a homeopathic remedy or their own medication or a book, then that's immediately a red flag and should be pseudoscience. And it's just like, and in this case, that's exactly what was happening. So yeah, I was watching that. That was a 3-hour debate.
They're talking about the best Bible verses in the chat. Obviously, someone brought up Ezekiel 23:20.
Mm-hmm. All the furries know it.
Yeah. See, my personal favorite is Genesis 2:25.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Rick is like, That's probably one of Rick's favorite, too.
No. The Ezekiel is the horses one. Genesis 2:25, Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame.
Let's see.
So one of the things you can do is you can just build the harvester camp and the stonecutters camp, and then you can set them to be shut down, and so they'll be inactive and they won't give you any alerts of like, hey, there's nobody working this.
Did you say the Stokers camp?
That is not what I said. I said the stonecutters camp.
Ah, well, that's an entirely different. That's a horse of a different color.
Yeah, that's an entirely different secret society.
Blue Raid says the true original sin in the eyes of Rick. They ate that fruit and now we all gotta wear pants.
Damn it.
Lame.
That's why all the races in Haven Celestia are pantsless. It's because they are not of Earth and thus never ate of the fruit of the tree.
Makes sense.
That's canon.
Sin only
Why
travels at
not?
light speed, and they're more than 6,000 light years away.
You know,
Now,
I
if Seraph
did...
were to wear pants, would they wear it like this or like this?
Yeah.
How?
There's also a really obscure weird one. I don't remember exactly where it is, but it's in the law books like Numbers or Deuteronomy, and it's this weird law about accidentally grabbing another dude's junk. Yeah, I vaguely remember that Silver Spotlight. Do you remember where that is, Rick and or Jonas?
Not off the top of my head, but I remember it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it up. It's like, if thou grabbeth another dude's kadongle.
No.
And
It would be like if you charm another man's serpent or something like that.
yeah, like I said, kadongle. If thou grabbest another man's kadongle by accident and saith not no homo, then shalt thou be smitten.
Harvesters.
Smitten or smote.
I'm deliberately choosing the word smitten for its ambiguity.
Mitt,
Valid.
smat, smote. Smut.
I gotta hit it. I gotta hit it out, guys. I'll
Smit,
catch you later.
smets.
Alright, good
Okay.
night, GC.
Good night, GC.
We got two symbols.
Oh, that's weird. Numinous trees. I was actually just about to bring up Out of the Silent Planet. That's one of the more interesting bits of fiction that C.S. Lewis wrote, simply because of its like weird combination of science fiction and theology. Have any of you ever read it?
Nobody's ever read anything.
This is bad.
I remember reading some of C.S. Lewis's stuff, like his not Narnia stuff, a long time ago, but I don't know if that was one of them.
Rick, did you ever read it? I figure if anyone in this group may have read it, it would
Read
probably
what?
be you.
Sorry.
Out of the Silent Planet?
I have not.
Okay. So, this one is older than Narnia. This is a pre-Narnia book. Basically, the premise is you got like two scientists who are going to the planet Mars in a spaceship, wearing their space boots, and they go there and they meet aliens on Mars. You know, as you do. And the interesting mix of science fiction and Lewis's like loosely Anglican theology that's going on here is he presents a vision of the universe wherein the fall of man, the introduction of sin, all of that was a completely unique phenomenon that was restricted to Earth and didn't happen anywhere else. So when they go to this Martian world, they are interacting with creatures that have never known sin. And another reason why he did that was because it was kind of a backlash of the popular science fiction stories of his day, which were almost universally colonialist narratives in which the Earthman goes and encounters primitive and or monstrous aliens, and they try to kill the Earthman, but the Earthman prevails and succeeds in conquering this world for in the name of, you know, Earth or whatever. And Lewis didn't like that very much. And frankly, he and I are in agreement on that point. We're not in agreement on many points, but we're in agreement on that one.
Let's see. I do not have any ale, and I have no way to get very much ale.
But,
No, so you can turn it into something else. Is it just any of the relaxation products? Yeah, it's wine,
ale,
scrolls,
wine,
or
incense, tea.
But yeah, the Martians are mostly weird.
Yeah, you don't really have a lot of fine processing here yet. In fact, you have no processing yet.
No, I don't.
I don't remember specifically what the Martians look like. I do remember they were kind of furry and animalistic, and I think they had like more limbs than we're used to. But they were intelligent. Also, there were angels, and the angels were very weird.
I mean, yeah.
Did they have
Angels.
like wings and a bunch of eyeballs?
No, he presented them in a much more interesting way. He presented them as kind of like they were like immaterial beings who mostly manifested in like these light bodies that were like
Legendary
almost
cornerstone.
almost
2 or 3 random epic cornerstones, but 1 random cornerstone in your possession will be destroyed.
They were almost like imperceptible to the eye, and they had like their personalities and their ways of thinking were so obviously not biological that they actually had a very difficult time communicating concepts back and forth between these Earth people. Like, they were used to communicating with the people of Mars because they'd been there all this time, but the Earth people were an enigma to them because the angels on Mars actually didn't know what the fuck was even going on Earth. Apparently after the fall, God basically quarantined Earth.
Nice.
And
As you do.
they had no idea what was happening there anymore. As a matter of fact, the title Out of the Silent Planet refers to the humans leaving the silent planet, which is what the angels and others call Earth, because they have no idea what the hell is going on there.
I'm not sure myself.
No
Like
one
I
has
said-
any idea right now.
Like I said, very interesting book for what it does. The second one is also interesting in a very different way. The third one is an absolutely insane mess.
Worthy of a read, Insane Mess, or like this one just fucking cooks my brain kind of mess?
I don't know. It depends on how you feel about the intersection of aliens, angels, demons, Merlin, and sadistic dominatrix lesbian villains.
Go on.
Speaking of which, did you know C.S. Lewis had a huge spanking fetish?
Yes, actually.
Well, now I do. I guess.
I didn't, but honestly, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, there was that one
My mom
scene where
talked about that a number of times. In fact,
there was that one scene where never mind. I'm not even gonna.
Yes, Astolfo, he did. He did indeed have a big spanking fetish.
that
Both
certainly
giving
was a
and
thing.
receiving, it seems like.
God.
Dracon says, Stoker, you really need to do a podcast one day. I fucking do. And or make YouTube videos with my little bat avatar in the corner being like, me, 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 me,
Yeah.
me, 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 me.
I mean,
10
yeah.
Peters, Dracula, Sally
That's-
Acorn, Haunted Mansion, me, 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 me.
Por qué no los dos?
It's-
Make a podcast and then make your little avatar rant Sona to go over it.
Me, me, me.
Astolfo's like, I'm gonna take a minute to wonder what being spanked by Aslan might be like. Well, you can't have Aslan without ass.
You know, my brain keeps on like a voice for Aslan. Like my brain keeps on substituting in like James Earl Jones as Mufasa. Like it just like, you know.
Being
It's just
listen.
What's
Liam
his name?
Neeson.
Taking the guy.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
I will find you. I will.
Good night, Astolfo.
That's
Good
all.
night, kitten. Sleep well, hon.
But yeah, yeah, it's there's also like a kinky BDSM leather site, or at least there used to be like an online store that's called like Aslan Leather or something like that, right?
God.
Gonna have to tear this down. Sorry, spirits, but you're dead, and we need your stuff.
Is Aslan Jesus' OC? Is that how that works?
Yes. Yes, he's literally people call him the Jesus allegory lion. He's not an allegory, he's just literally Jesus.
That's true.
An allegory is a symbolic representation. It's similar to an illusion. Aslan is not an allegory, he's straight up just an alternate universe incarnation of Jesus. That's it.
Nice.
As you do.
Okay.
I think that was one of the things that irritated Tolkien so much about the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
Because he was, Tolkien had a very different approach to world building than Lewis did. For Tolkien, everything had to make sense. Everything had to arise out of the development of the world, except Tom Bombadil. Everything had to fit together like, intricate pieces of a puzzle. The world had to be lived in and have all this history and be coherent. And meanwhile, C.S. Lewis is like,
And then they walk through the wardrobe and they meet a fawn by a lamppost in the middle of the woods. And after that, they have tea with beavers.
And then Santa Claus shows up and gives them weapons. And
See, what we really need is like the J.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis road trip movie, where it's like Sean William Scott and Ashton Kutcher playing them, and they just like tool around Europe in a car, and there's no coherent plot whatsoever.
yeah,
Maybe
okay,
that.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, of course you would. God damn it! Look, I have good ideas.
Listen,
15
for
oil
me,
from butcher,
though,
okay.
the best thing about C.S. Lewis is that in his work, The Great Divorce, he depicted heaven as clothing optional. So
Yeah.
that to me is his most like galaxy brain, third eye fully open moment.
In your opinion.
And as we've established, I have correct opinions.
You certainly have opinions.
Yes, and they're correct. Miller, do you differ on this? Is your opinion different from mine?
Yes.
Well, I'm very sorry that you're wrong.
For the court record, I'd like to answer in the affirmative.
Well, now the second best thing to know about C.S. Lewis is one of my favorite quotes. And what might that be, Silver Spotlight? Man, apparently I still retain a lot of information from my, like, really super Christian childhood and teenage days.
So Spotlight says, when I became an adult,
indoctrination
I
will do
put
that.
away childish things, including the fear of appearing childish and the desire to appear very grown up.
That is an excellent Lewis
Yes.
quote. Is C.S. Lewis's heaven full of animal people, though, asks 7-Up Shroom. Well, I mean, in The Great Divorce, you don't get to see a lot of it, but, I mean, talking animals are all over Narnia. His childhood, like, world that he made up when he and his brother were kids was also full of talking animals. Like, I can't help but feel like...
Oh, we are almost at midnight.
Yes, we are a couple minutes out.
Let me find a raid.
C.S. Lewis probably would have been in the Christian furry community. Yeah.
A weird thought.
I mean, listen, you think that's a weird and slightly unsettling thought. Think about which communities Lovecraft would have been in if he had been around in the internet age.
The only weird and unsettling thought around here is Stoker.
Oh,
Hey.
Thank you! Golly gee willikers.
I need to find a raid. Who's that?
That one.
Which one?
That one.
Which one? Oh, okay, sure, fine. Go for
That's
it.
a good one.
Playing Core Keeper. Very nice.
You're a core keeper.
Yes, I am.
And I'm a crypt keeper.
Yes, my crypt keeper. The person whose turn it is. Speak up!
No, that's the
Go
gatekeeper.
to the black hole. Oh, it is gatekeeper. Okay. Thought it was crypt
Nice.
keeper. Go to the black hole.
Yeah, black hole.
There's so much work being queued up.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I do not have enough people for what I need to do.
Well, make some more.
Yeah, start Trello.
WWVFD. What would Victor Frankenstein do?
You mean the monster Frankenstein or the Dr. Frankenstein? Or like the
Jonas
Bride of
just,
Frankenstein.
immediately chuckles at the silence. God damn it, Jonas. Stop being so precious.
Listen. I'm not one of those people who minds when people refer to the creature as Frankenstein. But Jonas, I specified Victor Frankenstein!
How do you know the monster's name isn't Victor Frankenstein?
Yeah,
Never.
Stoker.
It's never specified.
Yeah, it
didn't sign the birth
is. He
certificate.
calls himself Adam.
Oh, does he?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like,
It's
didn't
been
give
a
himself a
long-ass
name?
time since I read
Well,
that.
fine. It's Adam Frankenstein.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's Victor's son, so... That's the moral of the story. Don't mistreat your giant goth son.
Yeah.
It's true. It's a good moral.
You brought that life into this world. Now either take care of it, or they're gonna take you out of this world.
Bob Frankenstein. It's always gonna bother me. And I will never completely understand this, no matter how many times I see the 1931 Universal Frankenstein movie, which I've probably seen about 300 times at this point.
As you do.
I will never understand why they decided to change his first name from Victor to Henry.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about how we've got a Pope Bob.
Oh, we do have a Pope Bob. He's from Chicago.
What
the
is he?
first
That happened.
American Pope in history. And he'll be holding his first communion with deep dish pizzas.
Oh my god.
Yes, literally.
Yeah. All
No
right.
ketchup on dogs is canonical law.
Silver Spotlight, I have not been asked to work this weekend, so we should be resuming Pathfinder.
Yay.
Yes.
Looks like we are raiding Carader Zero. Carader. Karate!
We'll see y'all
Okay.
for that Pathfinder on Sunday.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Night.
Good night.